The Bengals make a sneaky good signing. A weakness of the right guard looks to be solved with Dalton Risner joining the Bengals per report. We're going to break down why this is such a big deal and why it's a huge boost for this offense that is looking to be elite already, but getting someone like Dalton Risner giving extra protection to number 9 and Joe Burrow. Welcome to the jungle. This is Isaac Coffman. Happy to see you and hope you're having a great day. This is exciting news if you're a Bengals fan. Yes, Dalton Risner has been linked to the Bengals. He visited just recently, but per reports, he is going to be joining them as their right guard. If you want to be up to date on all the Bengals news as it's breaking, you're in the right place. Smash that subscribe if you have not already, so you'll be up to date on all of our videos as they drop. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers. I think we can get there before week 1 with your help. So let's make it happen and get your voice heard by commenting in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this signing. So there you go. Again, Dalton Risner, he has been linked to the Bengals. He came in for a visit, left. There was rumors of him going to Seattle, possibly Pittsburgh for visits, and it was kind of quiet there for a while. But this was kind of the answer. They have been struggling with that offensive line as a whole, but in general, right guard. They signed Lucas Patrick, thinking he would kind of be that stop guard, probably a 1-year rental. It looks like they're going to go with Dalton Risner, though. I think this is a no-brainer that you make him the starter. I am happy with Lucas Patrick still being that backup, that solid one that you could put maybe even at left guard if needed. That's just depth. That's something the Bengals need. They need that depth of more linemen. And with cutdown day, they decided to go with only 8 linemen. So there was also that thought of maybe they're going to go get somebody. Maybe they'll try and sign someone extra. Well, here you go. This has been the report that is signing of Dalton Risner. So this is huge. Nothing out of the Bengals front yet, so this is fairly new as of this recording. Nothing in the terms of who they are going to cut because, again, they've gotten down to that 53-man roster. So there's going to be a cut coming to make room for Dalton Risner on the 53-man roster. But as it stands, he is going to be a big boost to this offensive line. It's just a veteran presence that they desperately needed. There's Dylan Fairchild there at left guard, and I feel like he's going to be solid. I think he's going to have his growing pains, but you need to have that veteran on the line. And they have Orlando Brown Jr. on the left side. I feel like he's going to be helping along Amarius Mims. Mims going into his second season, kind of conducting himself like that veteran, but it doesn't hurt to have that veteran, solid guy that's been in the league for a few years now. You're talking that he was with the Broncos for 4 years and in 2 years with the Vikings. And a stat that was showing up, it's kind of back and forth because officially graded, I believe that he has given up 1 sack, and that was last year with the Vikings. But PFF actually graded Dalton Risner to not giving up a sack in the last 2 years. And that would just be amazing, right? Getting a guy that can at least not give up but maybe a sack in a year. That's still great because it just felt like the guard position has been their weakness. I think, again, going back to Dylan Fairchild, he could potentially be that solid left guard of the future. If he keeps it up, he's going to have to keep growing. But in the meantime, if you can't solve that right guard, Lucas Patrick, again, had his struggles. They have Jalen Rivers potentially stepping in there. That would make me a little uneasy, having 2 rookies at both guard positions. You got to have some kind of solid veteran, at least in one of those positions. So this is huge. With Lucas Patrick, he might have done well, but just so far, I don't think you can go wrong with this. Maybe Lucas Patrick kind of improves and grows as the season goes on. Maybe just learning the system. This is still going to be a risky move. They're signing him less than 2 weeks before week 1, and they were waiting on that physical to pass. So far, so good, but there are maybe some red flags to keep an eye on. This isn't a complete grand slam, I would say, of signing, but I'm just happy they got him because if they wouldn't have got him or someone of his nature, I would actually honestly be a little concerned. You would be probably relying on Lucas Patrick, who was struggling, and maybe as the season would go on, maybe he would improve there, but there was no guarantees. It was just not that stability that you need. Again, you need that veteran on the line. And it's great to see someone like Orlando Brown. They actually interviewed him in talks of potentially Dalton Risner joining. He had some good comments, and I really appreciate this. Orlando Brown Jr. is kind of that leader outside of Teddy. And the center, he's kind of that captain, but I think Orlando is kind of your outspoken leader. So this is what he had to say. Orlando Brown Jr. He said, I think he's going to help us a ton. Everybody knows what he's done in the league. Honestly, even in college, from what I remember, I think he went to Kansas State, right? Yeah. So I'm a little familiar with his game. He's been that dog. So I look forward to meeting him and being able to get to working with him here. He's a dog. He's got tremendous feet. He does a great job of using his hands and pass protection. He's a really big guy as well. So it sounds like a mesh and an easy fit in our room. What sticks out to me is that last part. He feels like he's going to be a great fit in their room. Yes, I'm all about let's get guys that are talented, that are obviously going to put you over the top with their talent. But I'm always a little weary when they sign new guys, especially with less than 2 weeks to go in the season, if they're going to gel in that locker room. So coming from a guy like Orlando Brown saying he is going to mesh well with this locker room, he's going to fit right in. I'm familiar with him. Maybe, couldn't remember the college you went to. I thought that was kind of funny. Being put on the spot a little bit there, but I still feel like he's a confident person to go to. Like, what do you think of this line? He's kind of that other captain that I feel like he's more outspoken. He kind of tells you how it is, what's going on. And he kind of gave us that preview of Dylan Fairchild, but he was saying all kinds of rave reviews about him in camp. And again, it's early. We're going to see how he does in game time, but Dylan Fairchild kind of put us at ease a little bit. He definitely put me at ease in preseason. He looked like that lockdown left guard. Again, he's going to go through his growing pains, but that was coming from Orlando Brown, giving us that glimmer of hope, saying Dalton Risner could be that great right guard that they plug in and play. He's going to fit in with the locker room. That kind of puts me at ease a little bit, because that's the one thing I'll keep going back to with Zach Taylor. You can knock him for the play calling, for different situations where you're like, why did Zach Taylor do that? That's been kind of the knock on Zach Taylor. As a coach, as a whole, he's just solid. He has brought this locker room into something new. You're coming out of the Marvin Lewis era. There was rumors of bickering and just always at each other. They had those types of players. Zach Taylor has that different approach, that culture to bring together guys, ones that are selfless, that are more of that captain mentality of wanting to lead by example. And I love that. I think that's what this team needs, is more of those guys that are like the captain mentality, that are going to put the team first, not try to strive for stats or themselves. So that's what's exciting about this. Getting a guy like Dalton Risner, you need, again, stability. I think it's going to go back to this offensive line. Other than that, this offense is going to be electric. It just comes down to, are they going to give Burrow enough time? Are they going to give him that extra second? Are they going to give him that few moments where it goes from a blown up play to a big time play? That's what we're going to be looking for. That's what I'm going to be interested in. Is this line led by Scott Peters, the new offensive line coordinator? Let's see what happens. I'm excited to see that. They at least can say they've got more depth with Lucas Patrick now going to be more of a backup to Dalton Risner. I could see that being very big when it comes to that playoff chase. You're going to need depth. There's injuries that are going to happen. You just need to have that depth there. Sure enough, you might have your starters, but it doesn't hurt to have at least a solid backup in that. So that's what this really does for me. You lock down that right guard, but you still have depth there behind him, at least a solid one. Again, that's how I kind of view Lucas Patrick anyway, more of that backup. So this just kind of puts me at ease a little bit. But we want to hear from you guys. This is an exciting signing. We've been kind of anticipating it. There's rumors of it. But as of right now, the report is Dalton Risner is a Cincinnati Bengal. Comment below your thoughts of this signing. Is this a good signing for the Bengals? Is there any other players out there that you are hoping they can go out and get? Let us know in the comments below. And again, if you have not already, smash that subscribe so you'll see when all of our new content, all of our new videos drop. So that's going to do it for now, guys. As we say, Hoo day.